wonderful new studio apartment. Been saving up for a long time to be able to afford one. And after a year of saving and a year of effort, I finally did it. Anyway, I thought I would celebrate by making my second ASMR video. And I just thought I would do what I've seen a lot of people on this site do, which is to go through a few of the little treasures and possessions that bring me joy and comfort and satisfaction, and hopefully they'll bring you some at the same time, and at the same time help you to sleep or rest or relax or whatever comes naturally. Well, let's get started. I think I'm gonna suck on this peppermint that I found in my kitchen while I do it. If I can get it out of the wrapper. Doesn't seem to want to come out of there. Oh, in case you were wondering, this picture behind me is of the late, great David Bowie, who unfortunately passed away last year. And this one right behind me is a map I printed out of the lands of the Wheel of Time. It's a very great, very popular book series. That's actually one of the things that I have to show you later. And then this one right here is a picture that I took just a few weeks ago of me and my sister at Comanche Hill. I think this peppermint's kind of old. So anyway, the first thing, I got this about a year or so ago, is, I know it's in reverse, you can't read it, I somehow managed to forget to correct that. It's Arthur Rimbaud collection of poetry. It's complete works. Absolutely amazing poet. He lived to be only 37 years old from 1854 to 1891. I said 37, right? I thought I maybe said 57. Anyway, 37 years old. But during that short time, he wrote about 200 poems or so that completely revolutionized and changed the way people in the Western world approached poetry. His work was much more passionate and vivid and alive and just powerfully emotionally charged than anything that had been written before. And he's considered part of the French symbolist poetry of symbolist school of French poetry, sorry. And he's one of my 3 or 4 favorite poets. I myself am a small-time aspiring poet. And I guess I thought I might flip to one of my favorite poems of his and read it for you. Let's see if I can find it. I'm looking for it. I always find the sound of flipping pages strangely relaxing and soothing. this is called, in English, translation of course, because all of his poems of course were originally written in French. Asleep in the valley. A small green valley where a slow stream runs and leaves long strands of silver on the bright grass. From the mountain top stream the sun's rays, they fill the hollow full of light. A soldier, very young, lies open-mouthed. A pillow made of ferns beneath his head. Asleep, stretched in the heavy undergrowth, pale in his warm, green, sun-soaked bed. His feet among the flowers he sleeps. His smile is like an infant's, gentle, without guile. Ah, nature, keep him warm, he may catch cold. The humming insects don't disturb his rest. He sleeps in sunlight, one hand on his breast. At peace, in his side, there are 2 red holes. Isn't that great? Gets me every time. This mint is really crumbly. Let's see if I can find anything else. Here's an interesting one. It's likewise somewhat dark, like much of Rambaud's work. Sorry, move the camera around like that. This one is called The Hanged Men Dance. Pretty cool. On old one-arm black scaffolding, the hanged men dance. The devil's skinny advocates, dead soldiers' bones. Beelzebub jerks ropes around the necks of black, small dolls who squirm against the sky. With slaps, with whacks and cuffs and kicks, he makes them dance in antique roundelay. Excited, jumping jacks, they join thin arms. Black organ lofts their fretwork breasts that once beat fast in beauteous damsels' charms, now clack together in perverse embrace. Hooray, the jolly dancers whose guts are gone. About the narrow planks they jerk and prance. Beelzebub roars the rasping fiddle's song. Hop, they cannot tell the battle from the dance. Hard heels that never wear out shoes. They've all put off their overcoat of skin. What's left beneath is hardly worth excuse. Their skulls are frail and white beneath the rain. A crow provides a crest for these cracked heads. A strip of flesh shakes on a skinny chin. They swing about in somber skirmishes like heroes stiff, their armor growing thin. And the breeze blows for the skeleton's ball. The gibbet groans like an organ of iron. In violet forests, the wolves wail. The distant sky flames with hell's own fires. Oh, shake me, these dark commanders down, who slyly rake through broken fingertips, love's rosary across their pale ribs. This is no monastery, you dead men. And there, in the midst of the dance macabre, one wild skeleton leaps in the scarlet clouds, stung with madness like a rearing horse, with the rope pulled stiff above his head. He tightens bony fingers on his cracking knees, with squeals that make a mock of dead men's groans, and this peppermint just crumbled to pieces in my mouth. Suppose that's enough of that one. Interesting little side note. In, I think, 1995, they made a movie about Arthur Rimbaud and his relationship with another poet who was well known at the time, named Paul Verlaine. And the two roles of Verlaine and Rimbaud were played, I believe, by David Thewlis, who also played Professor Lupin in the Harry Potter series, and Leonardo DiCaprio, in one of his first roles, played Rimbaud. Kind of looks like him, I think. A little bit. Anyway, on to the next theme. Here we have my collection of classical piano music. It's a 5 CD collection. I got it for about $15, so it was an incredibly good deal. I couldn't believe it. At the time, I was having to commute between this town and the town that I went to school at. It was a drive of about 250 miles. So I wanted something that I could pretty much just play non-stop, that I could listen to pass the time. And these were excellent for that. This collection, we have music by Chopin, Frederick Chopin, Franz Liszt, Johann Sebastian Bach, Felix Mendelssohn, Ludwig van Beethoven, Antonin Dvorak, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Eric Satie, Christian Sinding, Robert Schumann, Sergei Rachmaninoff, Claude Debussy, Anton Rubinstein, Edvard Grieg, Johannes Brahms, Percy Grainger, Manuel de Falla, Franz Peter Schubert, Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, and Maurice Ravel, among others. That's just the ones that are listed here on the back. So there's that one. Then here we have, turning to a different type. It's the movie Legend, 1985, starring Tom Cruise. Oh, you can't read it. And in supporting roles, Mia Sara as the Princess Lily, and Tim Curry as the Lord of Darkness. This movie, when it came out, gained something of a cult following in the years since it's been released, but at the time it did not do well at the box office, and so much so that the director of the movie, Ridley Scott, thought that it would be the end of his career. It did so badly, and Tom Cruise, who went on, of course, to be so immensely successful after that year, nowadays just looks upon it apparently as kind of a joke in his career. He doesn't really take it seriously. It is I believe the only fantasy movie that he has ever starred in. But regardless of what the audiences or critics at the time might have thought, I've always really liked it. It has a very mystical, atmospheric vibe to it. That's always greatly appealed to me. I really also enjoy the soundtrack for it, which was written by, I believe, a group called Tangerine Dream, which was big in the 80s. Later on, they decided that the score that Tangerine Dream wrote for it didn't really fit, so they had, I believe, Peter Goldsmith write a second, mainly instrumental score for the movie, and they replaced the Tangerine Dream track with that one. And I've heard that soundtrack as well, but I, to be honest, didn't like it as much as the Tangerine Dream one. To each their own, I suppose. I guess that's enough of that. Last thing for today, we have Prince, the late great Prince Rogers Nelson. Actually, was his full name, and this is his the best of Prince, which is probably the most common compilation CD of his music. I'm missing the back cover. I think I lost it at some point. It fell out or something. But it has most of his best known hits in it. Yes. So it starts with I Wanna Be Your Lover, which is his first big hit from 1979. 1999, still very popular. Little Red Corvette, When Doves Cry, Let's Go Crazy, Purple Rain, of course his most famous song, the movie of the same name, I Would Die For You, Raspberry Beret, Kiss, Sign of the Times, You Got the Look, Alphabet Street, Thieves in the Temple, Get Off, Cream, Diamonds and Pearls, and the last track is Money Don't Matter Tonight. Of course, he wrote many hundreds of songs, so that's a very small sampling of them. See if I can get this back in right. I don't think it's gonna close. Yeah, Prince, he also passed away last year, not long after David Bowie. He was only 57 years old. His passing was actually quite sudden and unexpected, as Bowie's had been. It was a strange coincidence because I had actually only become interested in Prince's music about a year or so before he died. So I was actually a little bit miffed when he passed away. Because no sooner had I started to take an interest and listen to his stuff than he dies on me. He had become kind of irrelevant and outdated by the time he died. He hadn't really, I don't think, had a hit to speak of in at least 10 or 12 years. But he was undoubtedly one of the most important pop or rock musicians at the peak of his career in the 1980s, along with his band, The Revolution. I suppose that's enough for today. In any case, thank you so much for watching and listening, and hopefully my little spiel